Hello and welcome to another 30-Minute Thursday. My name is Amit. It is 2 p.m. in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, and we are live on Facebook one last time for calendar year 2022. Man, this year has flown by, and I will say what many people are probably thinking, good riddance. No, I honestly, it's been a good year. It's always a good year. Any day, any year above ground is a good year. But this one's had its challenges, and there's been some really unique circumstances, ups and downs. But at the end of the day, I want to say goodbye to 2022 in a proper way. And this coming weekend, we're going to usher out the old year, usher in the new year. I hope you guys are staying first and foremost safe, sane, healthy, and you're ready for a beautiful 2023. It's going to be a great year. We're going to talk a little bit about that and about what we're planning to do for the next year and everything else. In advance of all that, I want to apologize to you guys for a moment because I'm doing a new format here. As you can possibly tell, I'm in the fabulous studios of New American Funding here in Kirkland, Washington. My friend and colleague Dana is behind the curtain over there. You can't see it, of course, but I'm trying some new things. We're trying some new things with regard to our technology and with regard to our format and how we're doing this stuff. I'm trying to get a little bit better. That's one of my resolutions for 23. We'll talk about that in a moment, but I'm trying to get more adept at the technology, figure out how we can do the recordings and still go live and then edit some stuff and do reels and probably boring you guys with all the details about what it is that I'm trying to accomplish, but I'm excited because there's solutions out there. There's answers to questions I didn't even know I had. And so we're trying them out. And like everything else, we're doing it live. We're trying it live and we're figuring it out along the way. So if this looks a little bit weird in advance, I apologize. But I am trying to kind of get a few more things going on. Beside that, before I go too deep into what else we're going to talk about, I want to talk about the Alamo Bowl, which is happening today. In fact, my home team, which is the Washington Huskies, is playing my college alma mater, which is the University of Texas at Austin, Hook'em Horns. This is why I've got my orange for the Longhorns, my purple for the Huskies. I'm hoping for an action-packed game. I hope everyone plays hard. I hope they play safe. I hope no one gets injured, of course. But I hope the kids have a great time. What an exciting time to be to be a football fan in general. So Hook'em Horns and go Dogs. We'll leave it at that. And y'all can add whatever comments later on if you want to talk a little trash. I'm more than happy to do some of that. Beyond that, let's see here. Oh, here's something interesting. Looking looking over my there we go. Looking over my shoulder over here, my sister-in-law Estrella has created a logo for me, and I will tell you more about that logo as it evolves and as it unfolds. But it incorporates two of the things I am most passionate about in my professional life, which is doing home loans and teaching self-defense. And so the tagline or the motto, the crest, the creed, if you will, is closing loans and cracking bones. And I really love doing both of these things. I've been teaching martial arts for, almost 10 years now, teaching almost for 10 years. And I've been doing mortgage loans for more than 21 years. So these are parts of my DNA at this point. And I wanted something going into next year that would capture the essence of those two things and that would allow me to promote those two big aspects of my professional life in a easy to encapsulate logo, if you will, so that we could talk about that. And so I'm going to tag everything with that logo going forward. You'll see it on a lot of stuff. You'll see it on t-shirts. I will have swag for those of you who take my self-defense classes. I'll do other things as well. And I'm going to be doing a whole lot more video, especially as Dana and I figure out how to do live stuff while streaming, while recording, with slides, with everything else. There's going to be a bunch more video out here. So now that I've gotten used to my face on camera, heaven help us, and I've gotten used to my voice on recordings. Y'all remember, by the way, the old recording before there was voicemail, there were message machines, right? I just went blank on what that was, but someone would call and you'd have a cassette tape that would have a pre-recorded greeting, and then they'd leave you a voicemail or a recorded message. And whenever we recorded ourselves on those things and we played it back to make sure it sounded right, gosh, it never sounds right. My voice does not sound the same in my head as it does to you guys. And I'm sure everybody's got that same thing. It takes some getting used to. But now that I'm used to my face on camera and my voice on recordings, now you're stuck with me. Like I'm stuck with this, y'all are stuck with me. So I'm going to do a lot more video. That's one of my resolutions for 2023. I'm going to do a bunch more videos. I'm going to do a lot more teaching. I'm going to do a lot more training. I'm going to do a lot more content in general. And I want to share it with you guys and I want to promote it. We have to do the do not disturb here because I'm on my friend's computer and it's dinging me with emails and notifications. She's a very busy person and she's got a lot of things. So, hey, it's live. What can I tell you? Things are going to happen. But that said, that's one of my things for 2023. A lot more video, a lot more content, and this very cool, golly, it's mirror image there. I got it. This very cool logo as well. For those of you who are thinking about it, no, I have not started drinking in advance of the holiday. I am really happy though, and I love this time of year. It's a great time. I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas. I hope that you were not too terribly impacted by the storms, by the ice, by the disruption of air travel. We're redoing our Christmas lunch because my in-laws were stranded out of town during Christmas. But in general, I mean, I love this time of year, the time between Christmas and New Year's where things kind of slow down a little bit, but it feels like they're also speeding up, where we're planning for the new year, where everyone's still embracing their families and their holiday season and the spirit and everything. So yes, I have been accused of being a little Clark Griswold in my love of the holidays, but no, I have not been dipping into the sauce. I'm just a little bit manic right now because I've been caffeinated and we're having a great time. And so I'm just blabbering and blathering with you guys. But that is one of my resolutions, more video. Another one of my resolutions is to keep y'all even more informed about what's going on in the world of real estate and real estate finance. And so starting next week, I have a huge forecast for you for calendar year 2023. I will promote it again, I promise. I will let you guys know. I'll promote it more than one time the day of, but count on being here 2 p.m. on, what is that, January 5th, Facebook Live, 2 p.m. on Pacific time, of course, and we will talk about the market forecast for 2023. I'm not going to tell you like what neighborhoods are going to be hot and what neighborhoods are going to be calm and stuff like that. I don't dig that deep into it, but we're going to talk about the economy. We're going to talk about interest rates. We're going to talk about what it's going to look like when we sell homes, what demand is going to look like, what appreciation is going to look like. I've got a lot of slides. And so part of this whole process of trying to figure out how things work on the technology side of it is to figure out how I can do this more effectively for you guys and present more information, share more information with slides, with video while recording it, so then we can slice it and dice it in the editing studio and do reels so you guys don't have to sit through 30 minutes of me blabbering on. There's a lot of stuff that's out there. We're learning, and that's another one of my resolutions is to continue learning and to continue sharing what I learned, whether that's with technology, whether that's with the mortgage industry, whether that's with my Spanish. Yes, I continue to learn Spanish, although I'm not going to bore you with my my broken Spanish, but I'm getting better, and I'm excited about that. And I'm excited about the next year in general. I think it's going to be a great year. I've got a forecast, like I said, that I'll share with you next week. But for now, I just want y'all to know that we do expect interest rates to come down. I will share slides with you and explain to you why we expect that. I'll even tell you when we expect that to happen, not down to the day, not down to the minute, but I will show you the trends. I will show you the graphs. I will show you the data and the research that I've compiled, or more to the point that I've paid someone else to compile because they're better at it than I am. And I am just kind of buying their services. But we do expect that interest rates will be lower. How much lower? It'll start with a 5. And it might even start with a 4. You've heard me say that before. That's not new science, and I'm not giving away all of my secrets. but we do expect that they're going to be significantly lower. And guess what? Real estate partners, when those interest rates start ticking down, and it starts with the 5, or even it starts heading towards the 4s, what do you think is going to happen with our market here in the Pacific Northwest, which is really constrained on supply, which has very, very few sellers in general, tiny home builders by comparison to markets like Arizona and Nevada, Las Vegas, Florida, Georgia. Like, these are huge. Texas, huge markets. They got massive construction, new construction homes going up. They've got lots of land. They've got lots of real estate. We don't have any of that here in the Pacific Northwest. We've got small communities. We've got moderate-sized home builders. Even the publicly traded home builders in our community here in the Pacific Northwest are not that big. And so we don't have a lot of inventory. And when the buyers, who are abundant and they're just waiting in the wings, when they come back, it's going to be bedlam again. And so I encourage you guys, first and foremost, to get ready, because it's coming. And knock on wood, I hope it does come. We're all ready for it. But what does that mean, to get ready? Well, it means to get some rest, right? It means to be rested, ready. What do they say about the politicians? Tanned, rested, and ready. So toward that end, I'm taking a vacation. I'm going to go get a suntan because I'm tired of this ice box. But I'm also going to sleep in a little bit. I'm going to get prepared for what's coming in the first 6 months of the new year. It's supposed to be a really strong year. I know that doesn't sound like it right now, and there might be a lot of naysayers out there, and there might be a lot of negative Nellies out there, and they're all entitled to their opinions. But I think that the people I subscribe to, the experts I subscribe to, are pretty solid, and I've got a lot of data that will support what it is that we're expecting. So get ready for it, guys, which means that if you've got other things that you've kind of been putting off and you want to get caught up now. Take this time. I know the holiday between Christmas and New Year's is just about over, but take this time to get your CRM up to speed. Take this time to, make sure that you're getting a good night's sleep. Take this time to get caught up at the gym, or to take that last minute trip, or whatever it is, because once it starts, right? I mean, the mania, I love this business, because when the mania starts and it's just going and going and going. I remember in early parts of 2020 when the market really, I mean, yes, there was COVID as well, but when the market really started to catch on fire before COVID happened, I remember speaking with my underwriting assistant, and it was 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. We were trading emails, and I asked her if she had just woken up or if she had just hadn't gone to bed yet, and she said, "I don't know. I don't even know what day it is." That was the mania of that time, and it's going to happen again. I don't know if it'll be as profound, but coming out of the 2022 year, which was a little bit compressed and slower, this is going to feel like we're back to a sprint again. And I hope so. I'm ready for it. I am excited for it. And so that's also part of my New Year's resolution, is to have a big year in 2023. I resolve to have a big, big year. And I hope you guys are as well. And what does that look like for you, and how is that going to happen for you? Well, it starts with planning, and it starts with envisioning what a big year looks like, and defining what a big year looks like, and visualizing that. And I'm working on a vision board right now. I know that might sound a little bit weird and a little bit artsy, arts and craftsy or whatnot, but at the urging of my success coach, I'm working on a vision board, and I'm cutting scraps out of magazines and sticking them on a poster board. Literally, I mean, it's kind of fun. It's a little bit old school, but all these things, that dreams that I've got, plans that I've got, ideas that I've got, all these things that I want to achieve and that I want to embrace, I want to see them as a visual representation in front of me, so that it reminds me of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and what I hope to achieve with it. And so I suggest that y'all do the same thing in these last few days that we've got before we go back to work on the 3rd. Let's talk about that. Tell me, or tell yourself. You don't have to tell me anything. It's not an interrogation, but what do you want for 2023? What do you see yourself doing this year? What are your goals? What are your desires? What are your dreams? I think that the work that we do and the things that we embrace it's a means to an end, right? I mean, I love my work. Don't misunderstand me. I love what I do. I love closing loans. I like cracking bones. I prefer not to crack my own bones, but sometimes you got to take the bad with the good. But I do my work and I do these things because I've got other bigger dreams that I want to achieve through these endeavors. And so this is kind of what I'm working on and what I encourage you guys to do. And once you have that visual representation of what you want to achieve or where you want to go, think about planning a road trip, right? You open up that map on the table and you look at where you are and you look at your destination, and then you get to plan your route and you get to figure out how you're going to go there and how you're going to get there and where you're going to stop and what detours you want to take along the way to check out the largest house of mud or whatever it is. I love driving through America. There's so much to see, but this is the time to do that. And at the risk of coming off as a little bit too goofy and too, no, I'm not going to start burning incense and chanting. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. But at the risk of appearing like someone who would, I'm just feeling really good about where we are, where we're ending this year, and what we're looking to do to come into next year. And I want to share that energy with you guys. I want to share that emotion with you. And I want to urge you to embrace it yourself because it feels great. I mean, really, when you get that into your heart and into your head and you're firing on all those cylinders and you see where you want to go and you also know how you're going to get there, or at the very least, you have an idea of how you plan to get there, man, it makes waking up every morning that much more of an adventure. It makes me happy. It makes me smile. And I want y'all to smile as well. That's a goal of mine. And whether you call it a resolution or just something that's on my mind, I want to do more smiling in 2023. And I want the people in my life to do more smiling in 2023 as well. Life is short and we're in progress. I read something that is profound and it's simple and it's true. And that is, we will never be, let me rephrase this. Let me see if I got it right. Today, I'm as old as I've ever been, and I will never be this young again. That is absolutely true. It's happening. We're moving through our lives, and however much time we've got, it's not nearly enough. And I want the time that we do have to be happy and to and for us to embrace it. That said, I've got a birthday coming up next month. So yes, I do get a little philosophical as I start to turn another calendar over. I'll be 53 for those of you who want to know, although my knees are pushing 65. So you take the bad with the good and the good with the bad. What can I tell you? I am still doing my workouts and I'm still doing my training. So it doesn't really matter. So the knees will age how the knees age. Anyway, let me take a look here. I've still got a few more minutes. And so I'll just jump back into the mortgage and real estate world and kind of just give a recap of where things are closing for the year. The 30-year fixed rate mortgage is somewhere lower than it was in October, November, but still pretty high. We're in the mid sixes-ish, 6.5, 6.75, depending on the type of property. I saw this morning 7% on certain properties. So it's not what it was a year ago. It's still pretty high on the 30-year fixed, but it's trending downward, and that's really good. And so we expect, like I said, next year, in the next 6 months, in the next 8 months, we're going to find those interest rates somewhere in the fives. And that's a big change. Excuse me. That means that they're going to come down by possibly 1%, maybe more. And it's not going to be a straight line. It's going to be a jagged line down. There might be some up days. There might be some unpleasant surprises along the way. But in general, it's going to be pretty good. And then going forward on housing and housing appreciation, right now, nationally speaking, we are up 9.2% year over year on annual appreciation. That's down from the month before. Now, this is through the month of October. So we're lagging by about 2 months. So it'll take a little bit of time to catch up and get the full year. But through the month of October, we're, or maybe it's through the month of November. I apologize, guys, but we're up 9.2% from last year to this year. That's still great. In any market, that would be considered exceptional. But coming off of 2020 and 2021 when we were up like 20% or some crazy number like that, it looks like a loss. In reality, it's a huge win. And so we are finishing this year. I don't know what the last 2 months are going to look like. I think that they're going to hold firm. They might come down a little bit. We might end up to be up 6% or 7%, or maybe even 10% when it's all said and done. It's still a big plus. I mean, when we think about housing prices, they're still higher than they were, despite the interest rate that we dealt with all this year, despite the fact that the buyers kind of evaporated for a while, despite the fact that days on market took longer. We're still looking nationwide at a pretty significant appreciation of value. There's some more good news. Foreclosures, almost non-existent. Pre-foreclosures, almost non-existent. What does that mean, non-existent? The percentage of homes that are nationwide, that are in foreclosure or almost at foreclosure, somewhere around 0.3%. That is a small amount. The amount of homes that have delinquencies, serious delinquencies, all wrapped up, it's something like 2% or 3%, not a huge number at all. And that is significant because a lot of our buyers are sitting on the sidelines right now thinking to themselves, hey, I just have to ride out this time and then the whole world's going to collapse and I'm going to get to buy real estate at 50 or 60 cents on the dollar like we did in 2009, 2010. I don't see that happening. And I will share with you guys next week all the slides and all the information that will suggest why that's not going to happen. We're going to talk about affordability. We're going to talk about inventory. We're going to talk about, there we go, interest rates. We're going to talk about all sorts of predictions and projections, the rate of inflation. It might go a little bit longer than 30 minutes. So be prepared, bring your popcorn, bring your coffee. I'll bring slides. And Dana and I are going to figure out how to use this crazy contraption called the internet and all these cameras. And we're going to give you a full-on sort of presentation. That's next week. For this week, let's just write out 2022 and welcome 2023. Let's make our plans. Let's take our time. Do your vision board. Do your resolutions. Do your things. Whatever it is that's going to inspire you and motivate you and help you kind of position yourself for the next year. Highly recommend you do that, and that way we can kind of share our plans together and we can figure out how we can help one another, which I'd love to do. Beyond that, let me see here. There was something else that I wanted to offer you and to suggest to you guys, and I just went blank on it, which of course, again, I have not been drinking, but I am feeling a little bit rushed today and a little bit manic. In any event, we have big stuff coming up. Because I lost my train of thought and because everything is we're kind of close to our end anyway, I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to kind of slow things down. I'm going to wish you guys a very, very happy new year, a great end to 2022, and a wonderful start to 2023. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. In between now and next week, please, if you guys have questions about where we're going in this economy, where we're going in the housing market, where we're going in interest rates, yes, I'm going to talk about all of that stuff. But if there's something in particular that you guys want me to cover, if there's something in particular that you want me to research and present next week, please send me a message. Just put it in the comments here below this video. Most of you guys know how to reach me. If you don't, whoop, right there. There's my phone number. This is mirror image, so I apologize, guys. I'm kind of backwards, but there's my number. There's my email. You can always reach me. Let me know what you want to talk about. Let me know what questions you've got, what concerns you've got. Whatever I can answer. If you give me a little bit of lead time, I can actually research it and really answer that question if I don't already cover it in the presentation that I've got for you for next week. So that's what I wanted to remember. And gosh, it's been an afternoon. So with that, I'm going to say first and foremost, thank you. Thank you for spending some time with me. Thank you for listening to me ramble this afternoon, especially. Boy, it's been rambling. Thank you for watching all these videos. Let's talk more in the new year. Until then, have a wonderful holiday. Have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy the rest of your time off. If you are taking time off, be safe, be healthy, Be sane, always be sane, and I will see you next year. One more time. There we go. I'll see you next year when we will do more of closing loans and cracking bones. Until then, thank you again and have a great holiday. Bye-bye.